Welcome to another edition of the Mav Caw Show. I'm Mav.
I'm Caw, howdy, howdy. And man, isn't there a lot of weird stuff going on around here?
It is crazy right now.
Yeah, very crazy.
To give you guys a heads up, this is the second time we are recording this podcast.
Yep. And hopefully there's audio.
Every time, every single time we go to talk about what happens in this house, that was Caw.
No, I moved them around.
I don't know.
I don't know, dude.
Every time we talk about what's going on in the house, we record a podcast. I go to edit, and there is no sound.
No, nothing.
No audio at all.
There's probably like a good 6 lost episodes.
Yeah.
Just because. Sorry, there's nothing we could do about it. Yeah. Anyways,
it's been so. This is the second time we're gonna go through this.
Jeez.
But things have been happening. Like if you watched the Mars podcast from earlier today, the doorbell rang, which was really weird.
It should not have rang.
No,
it should not have rang. The bell is buried.
Yeah,
and there was no one at the door.
And it's a plug-in,
and
so that we can hear it.
We do understand electronics. Like sometimes when electronics start running out of battery,
yeah,
they sound off. Okay, so after 4.5 years of this thing having a battery,
no, it doesn't have battery. It's a plug-in.
So it plugs straight into the
straight into the wall.
Okay, so yep. Works fine, but there was nobody at the door.
There was no one there.
Nobody there.
But Caw had an eventful night. So we'll get to that here pretty soon. But first, I'm gonna let him tell you.
Oh, about the belt.
About the belt.
Let me tell you about the belt. Okay. So there's this cat he knows they're doing some business together. All right, that's all I'm gonna say about that. And this guy pulls up to the house, and he's behind him. He parks further back than he normally does.
Right.
So I didn't even know he was there. And this guy pulls up, and I had the most unsettling feeling. Okay. And he walks in. He comes up. He pulls up, and he comes in. Mav comes in. And I was like, hey, who's that guy? He's like, oh, that's the cat that's buying my wares, you know? And I was like, oh. And I happen to know that the guy that's buying his wares is a priest, and there's that static.
Yep.
Hopefully we got audio on this. So I happen to know that the guy's a priest. Man, when I looked at this guy, I didn't get an unsettling feeling from him. I felt it around me. Like something around me was unsettled because the priest was there.
Right.
And I was wearing this belt. Dickies. It's a Dickies belt. It's very strongly built and it's brand new. How old did he say?
Maybe a week or two.
Yeah. Just a couple weeks old. Look at that.
Snapped
Look at that.
in two
That thing
pieces.
said, it just, for no reason, broke upon my waist. I wasn't moving or nothing, and I don't do my belts tight. There was plenty of room for me to breathe. I could have stuck my whole arm in my pants and had still belt room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, this thing, here, look at it again. Look, it just snapped right from this part.
Show him the other piece.
Hold on, let me. I can't even get it off of there.
I am.
Wait, here it goes. I almost got it. Hold on. It just snapped right off the metal. The whole leather part of the belt is fine, as you can see. But in the end, it just violently broke off of my waist when a priest came over. That's wild, isn't it?
Yeah, because it goes right in there.
Yeah, I know. I know how it goes together. I bought it.
No, but I mean it's
a
weird.
double-sided belt. It's brown and black.
It should have just
Yeah, and there's nothing at all wrong with the belt.
yeah.
And you can see where I actually lost weight, and it's down 3 notches, and it wasn't very tight at all.
Right.
But yeah, it just decided to snap right off of my waist out of nowhere for no reason.
So yeah, that happened. We will get to Call's fateful night.
Yeah, here in
a minute. But
excuse me.
We had a subscriber send us some photographs she took.
Yeah, those are wild.
And yeah,
I've seen them before, but kind of sorry, I forgot about them. But yeah, I've seen them before, and they are something to look at.
Yeah.
And it's in the cemetery we were just in.
Yeah. Yeah, these are from the cemetery that I caught that orb in.
Duran. Yeah.
Here's the first one, and you can tell there's something standing there, but what is it? Like,
yeah. I saw 2 things standing there.
Yeah, it's weird. Like
the one on the right to me looks like something from the Ozzy Osbourne album, where it was like a woman standing in front of like some kind of building or something.
Yeah.
And it was real grainy looking.
Yep.
It reminds me of Ozzy Osbourne. But it's definitely not Ozzy Osbourne. But
yeah, it's weird. She took a few pictures of it, and I put them up on the screen for you guys to see. Now here's the next one she took, and it's in the woods, and you can clearly see like that somebody's looking at her.
Yeah. There's no words to describe.
You know what I mean? Like, you can see it. It's just a matter of what is it.
Exactly.
And,
exactly. What is that?
That place, but like you said, because she was looking through the trees and she seen like someone looking at her, so she took a picture. But when we went in there, Caw was even like, "Hey, the woods are giving me kind of a creepy feeling."
Yeah.
And it wasn't so much the graveyard.
Yeah, not the graveyard at all.
The woods.
The woods, though.
Yeah.
I was getting vibes from the woods.
Right.
And we didn't show the footage, but the footage I took, I was looking at the woods.
Mm-hmm.
But in the camera and the viewfinder,
yeah,
I was seeing something different.
Right.
And I mean, it was woods, but it wasn't the same woods.
Right.
I saw structure in the background, and there was this one spot where I saw 2 big trees in the viewfinder. But when I looked without the viewfinder with my own naked eye, there was no 2 big trees.
Right.
But there was 2 big trees in the viewfinder.
So,
and I was like, that's odd. The reason we didn't show it to you is because there's no way to prove it. Because what I saw in the viewfinder is what got recorded, and you couldn't see what I saw without the viewfinder. So me just saying it,
didn't make
does no justice.
Right.
So, but yeah, there was some stuff that I recorded that just wasn't matching up with the woods I was looking at.
Right.
So,
right.
But yeah.
Well.
So other than that, though, that thing that you got, that little
orb.
Yeah,
thing?
that little black orb. That was wild, dude. I ain't never seen nothing like that in my life.
I literally recorded for like 1:57 seconds.
Yeah, not very long at all. He wanted to save battery and
in case his ran out.
Yeah, let me record more. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and I was like, well, if something happens and Caw's camera's gonna die, I can at least use mine.
Backup, right? Yeah.
And I was like, well, let me record a little bit just around the cemetery. And within just
seconds,
20 feet,
just
man.
seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't notice
Dude,
it.
that was wild. Dude.
It was crazy, right? Because it was cool. It was like a really, it was maybe like
He
58
told me
degrees.
we came home and he was like, "All right, I'm gonna edit this and look at it and throw it on the, on YouTube." Literally, not even 2 minutes. He's
Yeah,
like,
being home.
he's like, "Hey, Caw, come here, man. Look at you're never gonna believe this shit." I was like, "What are you talking about, dude?" And then he showed me. I was like, "Whoa, that
Yeah.
is something else right there."
Yeah, I'd never seen anything like that.
Dude, I wonder what would happen if we threw a filter on there to see it on like night vision or something like that. Think we could do that? And then,
I could probably throw filters in it. Yeah.
we saw we'll do it without.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I
then,
could probably.
if there's something crazy on there, we'll put it on.
We'll
here,
put it
but
on.
Yeah. We'll see. What
If it yeah, it just depends on type of filters it shows up on.
Yeah.
Um,
But it won't be doctored like.
no.
Yeah.
So she was taking pictures one night, and I don't even know how to describe this picture. It's almost like something was standing around her and it distorted everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like not just her, but everything. And you can see it. And here's the photo. That's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, look at it. It's this.
That's yeah. The light was what gets me. The light shoots straight up.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
Yeah,
before.
that's crazy. It just
Yep, straight out.
usually light comes out at you in a film or a picture.
Right.
It comes towards. It
Not
doesn't go
upward.
up. You know.
Yeah. But even if you look like around her in the picture, it's all distorted. Everything.
Yeah.
Like whatever it was massive.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen camera glitches, and I've done cameras and stuff for a very long time. I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah,
So,
that's crazy.
But yeah. So, if you guys have any stories too and pictures, send them to us. We'll use them.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Or if you just even want to show them off in our comments, to the other subscribers, let us see what you're working with.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I have a story for you, Carl.
Go ahead.
So as you know, I told you about where my ex-wife and I used to live.
Yes.
We were moving.
Moving.
We were moving.
Oh, yes.
From the house in Hammond, we were moving down to DeMont.
Now, that house in Hammond, okay, so from you and her, I have heard quite a few stories about that house in Hammond.
Yes.
Okay.
So we show up to get the last little bit of stuff that was left. It's the last load before we're totally moved out.
Right.
And the neighbors come over and they tell us that someone walked through the front door because I left the lights on.
Yeah.
Someone walked through the front door, which is not the front door. It's two front doors with deadbolts that lock from the inside, not the outside. So how did it get through two front doors, number one?
Number two.
It walked through the house, and more than one neighbor came and told us this.
Right.
And they said they watched it go through the living room because in the kitchen, the lights were on. And it came to the back door. Then it went back through the house.
Mm-hmm.
But when I showed up that morning, and after they told us this, my neighbor and I went in. And, of course, she waited outside in case we found somebody. But I could not. I had to unlock the back door.
Mm-hmm.
And I walked through. And I had to unlock both front doors, which only lock and unlock from the inside. So how'd they get in the front doors and walk through the whole house?
And nothing was disturbed.
She was funny. She was like, nope. Her famous words.
What in the hell? Yeah, she does say nope. Nope. Ain't doing it.
Yeah. So another good one. I don't know what was up with that house, but we were leaving one night, and she said, "Hey, I forgot my purse upstairs. Can you go get it?" I said, "Yeah, no worries." So I go upstairs, and our hall light was on. And as I opened the door, something broke the hall light. I mean, it darted across the hallway, and the light blackened. And
I'm not familiar with this one.
as it ran across the hall, I heard it do 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 do, and I closed the door and I locked it and I went back downstairs and I said,
I got scared.
"You can go get your fucking purse because I ain't doing it." I said, I looked at her and said, "Nope."
Oh man.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know what's up with that house, but
Hey, you know what though? I mean,
I'll tell you a great
there's
one.
just some unsettling stuff that happens, that
we
just
lived-
goes on, like,
We lived down in the DeMont Roselawn area, right? And one night we came home late and we came in through the garage, the back door.
excuse me.
So
Sorry about that.
we're walking around the garage, and as I turn the doorknob, I open the door, and it looked to me like someone was standing there because we had a lot of stuff in the garage.
Right.
Someone was standing there, and I drew my hand back, my fist, because
you're ready to push the air.
because my instinct.
Who goes there?
my instinct is not. You have fight, flight, or freeze. You have three instincts.
Right.
Well, mine is fight. So when I opened the door, I was ready to fight. She turned around, walked the other way, and said, "Nope." She left me standing there.
Yeah, I mean, you're the man. You're the protector.
She's like, you can do that shit on your own.
Oh.
She ran back around the garage.
Jeez, I'm a crow, man.
Yeah, that was funny, dude. I about peed myself that night. I was laughing so hard.
I got something that's actually creepy.
Okay.
Man, my ex-wife. I ain't saying her name. She's not worth it. But, man, we was in bed one night. What? All right, sorry, there was a knock on the door. But anyways. So... Oh, okay. I was with my ex-wife. Man, we was in bed one night. And everybody knows I'm a scaredy cat when it comes to dark rooms. I can be outside in the dark, but in a house, in any room in a house, I can't be in the dark. I get scared. I see things. I hear things. They're coming to get me. So, man, we got the light off. And I remember something in my ear happened. It was like a breath or a moan or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, babe. Like, I got louder and louder with each babe, like.
Right.
She did not hear me at all.
Right.
I was like, babe. And then finally I grabbed her and shook her, and she's like, what? And I was like, turn on the light, and then she finally turned on the light, and like, I felt okay after that, dude. Bro, that was like one of the scariest nights of my life, dude. Like,
night terror?
No, I was awake. Sorry about the dog barking. But no, I was awake. Like we went to bed and whatever, but like she went to sleep. I was awake the whole time.
Right.
And then I heard that stuff in my ear.
Yeah.
Dude, dude, I guess, it doesn't sound very scary when I say it out loud, man, but if you experienced it, dude.
Right.
It was frightening.
Oh yeah,
I was actually horrified.
yeah, I can
You know what I
imagine.
mean? I felt like something was up on me
Yeah,
and about to like get me. You know what
right,
I mean?
right.
And I kept screaming, babe,
Yep,
and she wasn't hearing me, and she had just fallen asleep.
yeah.
So like she should have heard me at the first babe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was like,
Yeah,
babe, 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 babe. Like, dude, it was
yeah.
bad,
It's
dude. Like, yeah, it was bad.
yeah. When I mean when somebody gets afraid, I mean you
Dude, I'm
yeah.
telling you
Fear
what, man.
fear does a lot of stuff.
I felt like I peed, but I didn't.
Right.
But you know what I'm talking about by that? Like,
Yeah.
I felt like I pissed myself, but I didn't.
Right.
But I felt like I did. I was like, oh my God. And then after she turned on the light, I got up and ran to the bathroom and I peed. I peed so much, dude.
Man,
It was wild, bro. Yeah, I didn't like that at all.
no, I can imagine. You know, it's it's one of fear does a lot of things. People have usually two responses: fight or flight. Most people will turn around and run.
Right.
Some there is a third.
Stick and
Um,
freeze.
th- that's the one you don't want. Right. That's the one
Yeah.
you don't want. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Um,
usually freeze.
yeah. So I mean, you know, we all react to fear differently. So you
Yeah.
know, but sometimes something happens and you can't explain it. Okay, I was over. I was at the house before my ex-wife and I got together years before. She was married, and me and him was sitting there in the living room. She was downstairs talking, or I'm sorry, cooking, and me and him was upstairs talking, and we hear a little girl. Him and I heard it plain as day, and she said, "Come play with me."
Yeah, no
And
thanks.
she said his name. I'm not going to say his name, but it said his name. Hey, come play with me. He did. He just looks at me, and then you hear it. Hey, come play with me. And again, he did not answer. The third time, it yelled at him to come play. Him and I ran like little bitches downstairs. And we were telling, and I mean, dude, that was creepy.
Hey, you know what's creepy? Uh, the last couple of things I've heard, and something I myself have heard.
Mhm.
Come here.
Yeah.
No, no, I'm not coming here. I'm not doing that.
Exactly.
What do you mean, come here?
Exactly.
There was like 2 or 3 other stories I just recently heard where they was like, come here.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, and you know what? You don't come over here neither. Okay, that's
Exactly.
I'm gonna tell you what, man. You come over here, I'm gonna whoop
Right.
your little goat's
I'm
ass.
on my side, you're on your side.
Yeah,
Let's keep
hey,
it that way.
exactly. We on different sides on this here story. Like, yeah, we ain't coming here, man.
So
So yeah.
now we are on to Caw's story.
Oh, jeez.
I'm gonna let him tell what happened last night.
Okay, so as you know, we've stated it like a lot of stuff has been happening here lately. Last night, I kept hearing over in this room, over here in this corner where the Nutcracker is. Okay, if you're not familiar with the Nutcracker, if you're a new subscriber or a new watcher or whatever, go watch our other videos. We have like a 5 foot tall Nutcracker, and that thing is freaking creepy, and it has moved by itself and all kinds of stuff. So that being said, I kept hearing Ida. Okay, now that's an old school name.
Yeah.
That you
way
don't
back.
ain't nobody named Ida these
Right.
days. I heard that like 3 or 4 times, and so I busted out my camera. I was talking to my son's mom, and I was like, "Hey man, I'm creeped out a little bit, you know." And so I started recording, and I went ahead and recorded some footage from where the Nutcracker sits over in the corner. All right, we got them blocked off. Okay, like the footage I recorded, I didn't hear a single sound while I was recording. And when you watch the footage he's about to play for you,
Yeah.
man, I'm telling you what, there was somebody talking while I was talking. And
Yep.
it was creepy. And I heard it say Ida. I heard it say a couple things.
Yeah.
I heard it say I love you. I heard it say what was the thing you heard? Oh, geez, what was that?
I
It's kind of indistinctive, but
yeah, it's hard to
you
make
could
out.
tell it's definitely something
Something.
else talking over me or with me while I'm speaking.
Yeah. So
Man, I'm telling you what, man, I'm getting tired of this room, but at the same time, I'm kind of digging it because I'm getting footage. But I don't want the ghost to sleep with me. Like, geez, like, come on, man, get the hell out of here. Go spook up somebody else's night, man. You know what I mean? Like,
right. So here's the footage, and we'll be back in a few minutes.
So I keep hearing something besides snoring. There's something over here. I don't know what it is, but it's back by the Nutcracker, and I keep on hearing it over and over. What the fuck? I don't know what it is, but something about this fucking Nutcracker is just yeah, it's not agreeing with me. This whole fucking that Nutcracker thing is just weird. Yeah, like I don't know. That was really fucking freaky. I just had like the chills, like you wouldn't believe. I'm looking all around like, I don't know. And I remember that chair being folded up last time I checked on it, but yeah, that was really fucking weird. So the reason I started recording was because I kept on hearing something over here like it was moving around, and I think it was that fucking chair. I'm not sure about that, but I don't know. I kind of remember that chair being. Matter of fact, hold on. It was like all the way folded up. Hold on. Like, all right, like that. Like that. It was folded up like that. It wasn't unfolded to where you can see the back of the chair or nothing like that. I'm telling you, the back of this room freaks me out, especially around that fucking Nutcracker. I mean, some of my hairs is Jeez and Crow, man. Like, hold on. I gotta sleep up here. I don't see nothing else. But yeah, man, that's wild shit. I'm gonna go back and view this and see what I got. Hopefully it's something. Hopefully it's nothing.
Okay, so that was creepy.
So what'd you think of that? Like, Seriously, like,
You know what?
dude, there was.
I gotta say this. If you have headphones,
It was so creepy whenever I moved the clothes and it revealed his face and then it spoke. Dude, come on,
if you have
man.
headphones, plug them in.
Put them on.
I used my studio headphones, our podcast headphones. They're very expensive, both sets.
If you don't have headphones, use a Bluetooth speaker.
Or, your ear pods, whatever you have, put them on. Because you're going to hear a lot more than you will on just your phone or your computer.
The first time he heard it,
I was listening to it on his phone.
You could see him get chills.
I was listening to it on his
phone. He was like,
and I said, as it started, I think I made it about 20 seconds in. I said, no, dude, I got to listen to this with headphones. This is going to be great. So I plugged my studio headphones into his phone, and I was listening to it, and my mouth completely dropped.
Hey, Mama, I think they're trying to reach me for real.
That is probably one of the creepiest voices I think I've ever heard.
So I don't know what's creepier, man. That or the podcast chair moving towards my bed.
I agree.
I honestly think the voice thing was creepier.
That was just wicked.
I think the voice thing by a mile, dude. It got
now. I will say, Caw's mom, Miss Carol, who I love.
Hi, Mama.
She said, "Well, you're the skeptic, so see if you can debunk it." Now, I did tell her the truth. I've gone through this video. Okay. I know the room. I know everything. I cannot figure out who or what that was.
Yeah.
There's no way for me to even remotely debunk that.
Nope.
He was in here alone by himself.
Creeped out, by the way.
Nobody was up.
Hey, and that's the thing. I was creeped out without hearing that. I didn't hear that while I was recording.
Right.
I didn't hear anything, but I felt creeped out from that area where the Nutcracker is.
Now I know a lot of people. A lot of people are going to say,
"Oh man, holy cow!
Get rid of the Nutcracker."
But we can. That's the main attraction.
So what we've decided is one night we are going to do a live broadcast and see if something happens.
I'm going to do a live broadcast involving some mirrors and a Nutcracker.
No, we're not.
Oh, come on. Hey, coming up though, we got something coming up about some mirrors.
Yeah, we got a podcast coming up about mirrors.
I keep telling them, man, like, hey, man,
we're not.
Let me go get a couple of mirrors from the antique shop, and let's go to the graveyard and do some footage.
Yeah, you know what? I did think about that, and I think I won't do that.
He thought about it for
I'm not doing
0.0 seconds, and he was like, nope. We ain't doing that. Nope.
There's things I do and things I don't, and that's one of the things I don't. That's kind of like asking me to play with a Ouija board. Screw that noise.
That's a kid's toy.
Screw that noise. I ain't doing that either.
I come for your daughter, Chuck.
But I don't know what to say about the video.
There ain't really much to say.
I tried to debunk it, but I can't.
Hear it for yourself. Just go back and play it again.
Yeah, and it was like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, so everybody in the house was asleep.
It was more like around. It was after 2, like right before 3. So
yeah, it was. That's pretty creepy.
I don't know what to make of it.
But
excuse me. I don't know what to make of it or anything, but like I said, while I was recording, I felt creeped out.
Yeah.
But I didn't hear none of that talking going on. And you know what, Mav? Dude, that kind of tells me a lot.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it knows that it's being heard somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And it is coming out when I'm around.
Yeah.
and those late hours of the night.
Yeah.
Like, dude,
I don't know, man.
yeah,
I,
I'm telling you what.
I mean, like I've always said, that Nutcracker has creeped me out from the day
That
I bought
Nutcracker is creepy as shit.
it. Is creepy.
That's one of my favorite pieces musically.
Right.
I love music. That's
Yeah.
why I got the tattoo with the.
Yeah.
You see, I love music. Music star. That's what that means. It's not nothing demonic or nothing like that. It's a music star.
I don't know, man.
And that is one of my favorite pieces of the Nutcracker.
Yeah.
Dude, do you think that could be why it's speaking out like to me?
I don't have any idea. I can't even.
I like really old music. I like Beethoven.
Yeah, Beethoven's cool.
Sebastian Bach. I
Bach
like
is cool.
you know all of them.
Yeah, I like classical music. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
Johann Sebastian Bach. My bad.
But
because Sebastian Bach is like a heavy metal guy. But yeah, man, I really like classical music. I go to sleep to that. I go on my phone and I put on old cello music or violin or piano music.
Yeah, cello music's pretty.
It's something to sleep. My favorite is Moonlight Sonata by Ludwig van Beethoven.
Yeah,
I love that. That is like my favorite piece, man.
Yeah,
but yeah, dude. Like who would have thought? Caw likes that kind of music. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I also like bluegrass. I also like thrash metal. I also like rap. So, but yeah, right. my go-to is something calm and soothing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But
well, I mean,
so I wonder if that's why it like goes for me. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, it could just be because it's haunted.
Yeah, that could be. Oh, dude. Okay, I forgot about something too at work. So I talked about it on another podcast, and there was this guy that showed me a video of something happening in the sink area.
Yeah.
And what happened was this.
Yeah, you said
this basket came flying off the shelf.
Yeah, we're trying to get that video for you guys.
So check it out. Just like 2 days ago, I was at work. Lo and behold, I'm in the same spot. And all of a sudden, bam, I get hit in the back with a basket, dude. It flew off of the freaking thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It flew off of the thing and hit me in the back. I was like, what the hell?
Damn.
And the weird thing is so these baskets, they got these hooks on it like this, right? Like that. And they hook onto the shelving unit.
Yeah.
All right. Now, they're hooked onto the shelving unit, and there's a box of trash bags sitting on top of them.
Yeah.
These box of trash bags weigh like 30-something pounds, maybe 25, 30 pounds.
Yeah.
There ain't no way that this thing was uplifting and coming off without some kind of force. But yeah, dude, like, I forgot about that. I forgot to tell you about that. Yeah, this basket just flew off and hit me in the back while I was just trying to wash some dishes. I'm like, come on, dude, what the hell did I do? Man, that ain't the first thing I've seen at work. That's like the third thing.
Well, if you guys have any stories, tell us the stories.
Yeah, definitely.
Send us pictures. We'll show your pictures. We'll tell your story.
Or ask about our stories.
Yeah. We're going to start doing something new, too. If you guys got stories, you're going to be able to call into the podcast.
Hey, yeah.
And you're going to be able to tell your own story. And we'd love to have you guys on, you know.
Listen, here on this channel, you won't get made fun of.
Nope.
We won't let no one make fun of you. We'll kick them out. Whatever.
Yeah.
You should we have a channel where you should feel comfortable.
Yep.
Speaking
like-minded people.
Right, exactly.
Yep.
So, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I may not be a total 110% believer.
I am, though.
Because I do try to rationalize. I'm not trying to say
Team Caw.
I'm not trying to say you didn't tell the truth. I rationalize things. It's the way I am.
Okay, so rationalize. He tries to debunk stuff.
Yeah.
But
scientifically.
You know what? As much of a believer as I am, I try to debunk it too.
Mm-hmm.
But
but
Okay,
I can't debunk that video.
Yeah, there's just
I've tried.
there's just some things that
Yeah,
it's not explainable.
absolutely.
It's not explainable at
absolutely.
all.
So if you guys have anything, let us know. You know, we would love to tell your story, show your pictures, anything
Yeah, we
you
would
could
love
give
to
us.
talk about it.
And as soon as we get up the line for the podcast, we'll give out that number.
Yep.
So we appreciate you guys watching, and tell us what you think of Caw's video in the comments and our subscribers' pictures.
Yep, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
And don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you guys later.
See you later.